Hello everyone, my name is Brian Patterson and I am discussing the treatment and operations of Native Americans in the 20th century, specifically from 1930 to 2020. U.S. history has a large record of mistreatment of Native Americans, from colonizers' first reactions to the modern day. The solutions to this issue have been consistently riddled with greed and a lack of understanding of these people. What most people fail to realize is how long this continued into modern history. One of the biggest travesties was the idea of reformation or acculturation of Native Americans into U.S. society. The idea was led by the notorious reform schools that were established all throughout the United States. Known for their horrible abuse and treatment of Native children, these schools were established to remove their culture entirely and to teach them to be Americans. The famous quote of "kill the Indian, save the man" became the school's agendas. Many of these schools were closed throughout the years due to mistreatment, but some have remained open well into the 1980s. Another mainstay of Native American treatment was the continual relocation of tribes and reservations, only to have land continuously stripped away when resources were found there or the space was needed by the U.S. government. According to the Native American Almanac, in the early 1950s, the federal government launched a massive program to relocate reservation Indians to urban centers. In cities, Indians were separated from kinship ties, tribal languages, tribal communities, and ceremonies, and were thrust into a strange environment. This effort was both to displace natives from their land and to acculturate them by using the promise of jobs and a better life. Not only had natives been displaced from their homeland, but they were now also being forced to move again and give up more of their land throughout the 1900s, leaving them with a sense of homelessness and dread. This series of events says a lot about the time in the United States. It is beyond clear that the U.S. had a superiority complex, that their culture was superior, and that if natives wanted to succeed in life, they would have to adapt. There was also a severe lack of sympathy and apathy for the natives at the time, many of whom lived in poverty in their reservations. The natives would be relocated to an area, start to get established, only to get uprooted because there was a new resource discovered there and industries in the government wanted them. They would offer them absurdly low prices for their land and their resources, and they would be all but forced to accept the offers since they were already so impoverished. This superiority complex and lack of sympathy greatly affected the Native Americans' abilities to adapt and move with the times for better lives. Today, many reservations and tribes have been able to grow out of poverty and become well established due to activism and federal recognition. In 1968, a Native American Bill of Rights was established that created some of the first steps to tribes to be independent of the federal and state governments. This has helped lead tribes to a lot more wealth through their construction and implementation of casinos. These casinos have helped create thousands of jobs for the natives, as well as generating billions of dollars that they use to better their tribe and reservation. Overall, the mistreatment of Native Americans is something that has opened a lot of people's eyes to the corruption and mistreatment that our own government can unleash on a group of people. It has also led to very strong activism from all sides on their behalf and a state to where it seems the government will hopefully no longer continue their ways in the past towards these people. Thank you.